What's up, everyone? It's the Autistic Scyther here, and this is part 9 of Black Characters in Video Games. As always, previous 8 videos, previous 8 parts are up on my channel now, so suggest you watch those first, then come back to this video for the remaining characters. We are finally at the end, folks, and for those that have stuck around for this entire video series, honestly, thanks for sticking around for that long. I really appreciate you guys. That being said, we got some big characters, and naturally when it comes down to it, honestly, a lot of them are some iconic franchises. So, that being said, let's do this. And of course, we're starting this off with a Naughty Dog title, the Uncharted franchise. And you guys remember when I mentioned about how South Africans would be kinda, well, seen as either black South Africans or Afrikaners? Yeah. The Uncharted franchise, well, characters like Nate, Sully, and Elena are iconic and well-known. Well, let's just say that there are a few black characters in this franchise. However, most of them are mercenaries. That being said, we wouldn't get a named / important black character until the final game of the Nathan Drake saga, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End, in Nadine Ross. And ironically, she's basically one of the few characters who gave Nate a run for his money. Be fair, better than Atok Navarro, that's for sure. But even with that, yeah, she became such a fan-favorite character that they decided to give her a spin-off alongside Chloe Sullivan in Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. And granted, while I'm only got up to Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, and got stymied by the tank, I still want to play through the remainder of the games and Lost Legacy just to see Nadine's interactions with both Nate and Chloe. Also, we learned that Nate's safe word is mango. Huh. Maybe that's how Cassie was, how he and Elena conceived Cassie. Huh. Okay, now even I'm weirding myself out here. Anyway, let's move on to another Naughty Dog title, The Last of Us. And as much as The Last of Us Part 2 was kinda controversial, the first Last of Us was a nice little follow-up from the Uncharted franchise. And makes a nice series now that I think about it. Of course, that being said, it also gave us some very iconic and interesting black characters as well. And honestly, they're characters that kind of make you feel something when you think about it. Specifically, the characters of those being the brothers Henry and Sam, who basically end up interacting with both Joel and Ellie, and they have a nice little bit of rapport. That is until it's revealed that Sam was bitten by an infected, and yeah, gave us a heartwarming scene, A scene that, honestly, I don't think anyone would end up coming out of it with dry eyes. Just, yeah. But when we weren't done with the black characters, as the DLC gave us a character from Ellie's past in her old best friend Riley, who basically they seem to have a nice little bit of a friendly relationship with each other, to the point that, honestly, in all fairness, it more or less seemed like a romantic relationship. And honestly, if I had to say it, both Ellie and Riley are my favorite LGBTQ plus couple in video games. Well, aside from male Corin and Niles. But the latter one is kind of because of the fan fiction. But yeah, it's not only a nice little bit of respite from the entire game, and it's kind of heartwarming once you realize what happened to Riley soon after. Just, yeah. And of course, speaking of zombie apocalypse games, I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Telltale The Walking Dead, which honestly gave us, and now when it comes down to The Walking Dead, I mean, sure, The Walking Dead did give us a character like Michonne, who is iconic for kind of being Rick's main squeeze. Rick's side squeeze, to an extent. I have not seen all of The Walking Dead. Can you tell? But even with that, Telltale The Walking Dead basically focuses on Lee Everett, a former college history professor who spent some time in jail and experienced the aftermath of the zombie apocalypse that had happened, as well as him taking care of and mentoring everyone's favorite survivor, Clementine. And honestly, in all fairness, Lee and Clementine made the series. I mean, even after it was revealed that Lee ended up getting bitten by a walker at the end of season 1, and it was Clementine who had to put him down. Oh man, it is hard on everyone. But the fact that Clementine basically came on her own, yeah, I have to point it out. Clementine, in the later seasons of Telltale The Walking Dead, is what Ellie from The Last of Us eventually became. Just, yeah. And that being said, for most eagle-eyed viewers, you're possibly wondering what happened. Why a very certain game company from Scotland is on this list. Yeah, I'm saving it for the end, because you gotta admit, one of the most notable ones has to be the Rockstar franchise. And oh man, honestly, if there's ever a game company whose franchises have prided in black characters or black representations, it's Rockstar. Because so many games have had black representations. From Bully giving us characters in the nerd and jock cliques, or at least characters in each clique that are one character in each clique that's black. Again, I don't know the names because I've never played Bully, but there's that. To Red Dead Redemption 2, introducing us to the character of Lenny, which gave us an interesting little side quest that ends up in one of the most funniest chorus lines that we've ever seen. And to L.A. Noire, which I know it's Team Bondi and not Rockstar, but for a while I thought L.A. Noire was made by Rockstar. No, L.A. Noire is Rockstar, never mind. To L.A. Noire, who had several black characters that played a role in specific cases throughout the game. Like Marlon Otley. And even in one case where several black musicians were, victims. And then there's the big one, GTA. Oh boy. If there's ever a franchise with black characters in it, you know that GTA's got them. And they've run the gambit. From Lance Vance and Victor Vance and in GTA Vice City and from Lance Vance and his brother Victor Vance in GTA Vice City and Vice City Stories to the characters of to everyone's favorite Jamaican, to Nico's most notable Jamaican ally, Little Jacob, and his mentor Badman from GTA 4. And yeah, Little Jacob's basically your stereotypical Rasta. But more often than not, if you have a good rapport with him, he basically helps you out by giving you a discount on giving Nico a discount on weapons, which really says a lot. And then there's the two main games, GTA San Andreas, who has a whole host of black characters that are part of its cast, to the main protagonist CJ Johnson, his brother Sweet, Ryder, CJ and Sweet's sister Kendall, to everyone's favorite big buddy Big Smoke, who I know everyone has wanted to copy his menu order, to wannabe rapper OG Loke, and even Officer Frank Tenpenny, which of course made Samuel L. Jackson's career before Nick Fury. And GTA 5 followed that trope with the character of Franklin, who is basically one of three main characters that made the game what it is, alongside Michael and Trevor, as well as other characters like Franklin's Aunt Denise, Tanisha, Franklin's friend Lamar, and just all of them just adding a certain aspect to it that makes the entirety of San Andreas just come alive. It really says a lot. Those are all the black characters in video games. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next time, everyone. Oh, and also, click on join my Patreon.